teaching mathematics. But before we go on, the session will be recorded, so I need to get your permission for the recording to proceed. So I have your permission, please? But for the recording, yeah, okay, thank you very much for it. And the goals for this session are, when I did my first year panel report, they said one of the things I have to do is to think more mathematically. That is, if I could, when staff use questions with voting systems, I need to know what kind of questions to use, how to create those questions. So if I get that conceptually, then it's easier for me to analyze how technology is being used for in the classroom, because that's what my research is focusing on. And secondly, one of my research questions for my thesis is exploring the difference between surface and deep learning. And having this kind of session is going to help me to see what's deep learning, what's surface learning. And thirdly, the kind of questions we're going to look at today, we plan to use Kari plans to incorporate some of the questions with voting systems. So basically, I'm not talking about what the questions are. I'm going to be giving you a list of 8 questions, just basic math questions in a first year level students. So I mean the A-level kind of questions. So what I want is feedback about whether those questions are procedural or conceptual. What do you think about the questions themselves? That when if students are presenting those kind of questions, what goes on in the students' head? How do they answer the questions? And how do you bring about learning? If you have any questions for me, at any point in time, you can just interrupt me, because I'm going to get feedback from you and see what you think.
Are you going to clarify for us what you mean by procedural and conceptual?
Yes, that's a very good one. We have questions like, for instance, if you have a formula, you can just give the student the formula and say, this is it, apply it. You don't give them the reasons for the rule or the formula. But that's a basic definition. But the conceptual type of question would be where, or conceptual type of teaching or learning, where the students are presented the questions or the formula, but they're also given the reasons why, so and so and so. So it's about concepts, linking concepts, or linking patterns and things together. It's not just leaving them disjointed without any connecting points. What I want to do is, when I give you the questions, then we can start thinking, because I know many people don't agree on what's conceptual or what's procedural. And when we start thinking about the questions I'm going to be showing, then we can start saying which ones are conceptual, which ones are procedural, which ones are in between, which ones are in the gray areas, and what do you think as teachers with many years of experience. That's what I want you to do. First thing I want you to do for me, please, on your right before you there's one thing I want you to feel, if you can, it's voluntary. I want you to put years of experience you have teaching pure mathematics. Either secondary school level, elementary school level, university, college, years of experience teaching
math. This says brackets math.
That's the second one. There are 2 questions.
Oh, right.
It's also in pure mathematics. The second one is teaching maths to engineering students or science teaching. So there are 2.
How old am I now?
I'm taking it, Sam, that you want me to answer about mathematics.
Well, you don't teach.
Yes.
I don't teach mathematics.
You don't make center. Or you can just put statistics. Replace it with statistics for the first one. I'll leave the second one blank because you don't do any engineering mathematics. The next question seems a little bit vague, but I just want to see what you think at the beginning. If you look at, first of all, my definition of conceptual and procedural, how many people were able to get that? My definition was procedural and was conceptual. How many people? Can you simplify by raising hands, please? Or just make an answer?
Yeah, I'm comment though.
Yeah? Did you get that?
Well, yeah, I think so, but I think it's a very difficult definition to apply.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt there are any purely procedural things actually done with that
It's a mix. Are you saying it's a mix?
I'm saying I think it would be very difficult to draw a line between what was what in any given teaching and learning experience.
So if you wanted to estimate what kind of you're teaching, for instance, let's say, forget about pure mathematics, not to engineering mathematics. You wanted to estimate what percentage is procedural and what percentage is conceptual. Can you be able to do that?
Well, it might add up to more than 100. That's the problem, you see.
Yeah, what can you have? Maybe if you have 100. Is this something you could attend, Barbara?
I'll give it a shot.
I think it's quite hard, but it might be interesting to see what we can offer.
Yeah. I just want to know, do you have the definition broad? Do you have the definition now to go and answer that, attempt to answer that question? The teaching you've done at the high school level, at college, basically what I said that conceptual teaching is you give them reasons why you have the rule or the formula, so that they can understand the thinking behind, like proof. You understand, this is it, but this is how we got there. But before, when you just give them the formula without giving them the reason, say, anytime you come across this problem, apply this formula. They don't need to know how they got there. That's just a procedural type of teaching. Now, I want to estimate the kind of teaching you've done. For you personally, I'll estimate for teaching mathematics, which percentage you go into procedural, which percentage should be conceptual. So it's just an estimate at the beginning.
Do you want them to add up to 100?
Give it the way it is for now, since we're exploring. Let's see what happens. Maths is an exact science. Is maths an exact science?
Is it a
Another
science?
complicated question.
Yeah, please, yeah, a more philosophical question per seminar, please.
This is very interesting.
And do you want me to answer it as it's written?
Oh,
I
this
think you
is
can
difficult.
skip that because your statistics for.
Thank you.
Why did because you're a
And Sam, I'm sorry, this says maths teaching.
I was willing to do it.
See, the answer to me was perhaps a bit different. With maths learn, you know, what
Well,
students might be supposed
maths
to do.
teaching, I don't put maths learning. If you think
Okay.
there's a dichotomy between maths teaching and maths
Okay.
learning, then put it.
I'll write something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it's supposed to be. Anything thoughts that
Okay.
doesn't fit within that box,
Okay,
Just-
good.
eventually. Rod, are you with me? Are you?
I think you explained it in an excellent manner.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so got to move on because I'm conscious. Again, I want to say thank you very much. This is lunchtime for most people, so I appreciate you coming in at this time. So.
They're giving you a hard time, Sam, aren't they? I think you're doing really well.
Yeah, thank you.
I wonder why you wrote them the other way around. You nearly
Maybe it's to
caught-
make sure we're awake.
Nearly caught me out there.
I wanted to do that because
Yeah, you were.
I feel much so time.
Oh,
engineering with
Oh, dear.
Who else noticed? Who else noticed
Yeah,
was the
maybe.
other way around? Okay. That makes, yeah. Because I didn't want you to say, oh, procedural concept, that's 25%, 75%, then the next one you don't do that. But if you have to think, then it kind of stretches your mind to say. My first question is, it's just about a rule. And most people, you're maths teachers for a long time, so you understand what I'm trying to do here. So simplify base expression. And there's a rule to be applied there, it's just bottomless. Or some people call it the different name. So what I want you to do for this question is try to answer it as fast as you can, and then I'll just ask the question after that to follow.
What should I do? Simplify.
Simplify that. Can you see experiment that? If you can't see, I'll explain anything you can see.
Am I supposed to be using one scrap paper for everything?
That's the rough paper for. You can use the other one.
Oh, so we're not to write on the answer sheet.
You can
Oh,
use the
okay.
rough paper.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
this rough paper is
So you
for.
don't want
No.
No.
you
What
can
do you want
the
on?
other.